Have you ever wondered what sets certain men apart, making them irresistibly attractive to women? It's not about flashy gestures or grand displays. It's about embodying calmness, emotional maturity, and a sense of inner peace. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches resilience, self-control, and the art of truly listening, traits that deeply resonate with women on a meaningful level. Throughout this video, we'll explore how practicing Stoic principles can transform not only relationships, but also every aspect of your life. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of what women truly admire, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing insights like this one. Let's get started. 1. Be unpredictable. Women are naturally drawn to men who break the mold of predictability and add an edge of excitement to their interactions. At its core, unpredictability creates an emotional spark that keeps relationships vibrant and memorable. This doesn't imply being erratic or inconsistent, but instead infusing passion, creativity, and spontaneity into moments together. These qualities are rare, yet deeply cherished, as they bring a dynamic layer to how a man interacts, not just with a partner, but with the world. One of the most powerful aspects of unpredictability lies in its ability to keep emotions heightened. When a man shows he can creatively engage with the little moments, it creates lasting impressions. For example, something as unexpected as planning an impromptu evening adventure after a long day or sending a thoughtful message out of the blue can instantly light up her day. Such gestures signify attentiveness, and they break away from the mundane routines that often dull relationships over time. It's equally important to note what to avoid when striving to be unpredictably charming. Predictability often translates to dullness, where actions and words feel stagnant, leaving no space for anticipation. This doesn't mean changing who you are, but being mindful of how monotony can slowly erode interest. A lack of creativity and excitement may cause her to lose the connection that initially brought you together, perhaps even leading her to drift away. This unpredictability, when rooted in Stoicism, becomes even more attractive. Stoic men practice emotional control and are grounded in their values, but they are also intriguing because they often subvert expectations. They remain calm under pressure and approach situations with curiosity rather than apathy by blending this composed energy with occasional surprises. A man can create a balanced and magnetic personality. Imagine the effect of a man who is both dependable and exciting, someone who offers stability, yet has a knack for keeping life vivid and full of meaningful experiences. To cultivate unpredictability in a tender and thoughtful way, consider small, intentional acts that deviate from routine. If you always text her at predictable times, switch it up by sharing something funny or encouraging when she least expects it. If your dates usually follow a set pattern, think of new, exciting places to visit or shared activities to experience for the first time. This could mean exploring hiking trails, joining a cooking class, or watching a spontaneous live music performance. The key is showing effort through uniqueness. Ultimately, being unpredictable shows a woman that you care enough to invest in her happiness beyond surface level interactions. She feels more valued when she sees you put thought into surprising her. It also makes the relationship feel fuller, more alive, and endlessly intriguing. Very few men embody this balance of thoughtfulness and excitement, making it something that naturally elevates those who do into the top one of men women adore. 2, learn to listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. One of the most quietly powerful things a man can do, yet something so rare it's almost endangered, is to truly listen. Not the kind of listening where you're nodding your head while your mind is somewhere else already preparing your next sentence. We're talking about the kind of listening that wraps a woman in a soft emotional blanket, makes her feel deeply seen, and reminds her she's not just heard, she's understood. You see, most men confuse hearing with listening. Hearing is passive, it's background noise, it's being in the room physically but absent mentally, and women can sense that instantly. It's in your eyes, your body language, your delayed or generic responses. Passive listening makes her feel like she's talking to a wall dressed in a nice shirt, but active listening, that's different. That's rare. That's magnetic. When a woman is sharing her thoughts, her experiences, or even her silly daydreams, what she's really offering you is a window into her world. She's handing you delicate keys to her emotional space. The way you respond in that moment tells her everything about the kind of man you are. Do you lean in? Do you meet her eyes with warmth and curiosity? Do you ask her follow-up questions that show you're not just waiting for your turn to speak, but genuinely care about what she's saying? Active listening means being fully present. It's giving her your attention, not because you want something, but because you value her. Noticing the subtle things, the shift in her tone, the way her hands move when she's passionate, the small crack in her voice when something's touched her deeply. These are the moments that matter. And when you tune into them, you create a bond that's felt, not forced. Most men miss this because they're too focused on impressing, but the truth, listening well, is one of the most impressive things you can do. It tells her that with you, she doesn't have to perform, she can just be. And in a world that constantly asks women to prove their worth, that kind of space is gold. So here's something simple you can try. Next time you're talking to a woman, whether it's someone you're dating or just getting to know, make it a goal to not interrupt. Let her finish her thought fully. When she's done, reflect back what you heard. Say something like, that sounds like it really mattered to you, or it makes sense why you'd feel that way. It's such a small gesture, but to her, it'll feel like a warm embrace. Don't underestimate the power of eye contact. When you hold her gaze, not in a creepy or intense way, but with softness and interest, it tells her she has your full presence. Combine that with gentle body language, leaning in, relaxed shoulders, the occasional affirming nod, and you'll be doing what only one of men truly. You'll be listening in a way that makes her feel adored. In the end, women don't just want to be loved. They want to be known. And that starts with listening, not just with your ears, but with your whole. 3, don't be overly respectful. Respect her, but don't worship her. This one might sound a little strange at first. Isn't respect a good thing? Isn't that what women want? Absolutely. Genuine respect is essential in any connection. But what most men don't realize is that over-respectfulness, especially when it comes from a place of fear or insecurity, can quietly drain the spark from a romantic interaction. When a man treats a woman more like a fragile queen on a pedestal than a woman he's genuinely attracted to, he may think he's being chivalrous, but what she actually feels is a lack of real chemistry. It's not about being rude or dominant. It's about emotional. Women want to be respected, yes, but they also want to be desired. They want to feel your energy, your playfulness, your boldness. When you're too careful, too formal, or act like she can do no wrong, she doesn't feel respected. She feels distanced. It's like you're handling her with kid gloves instead of connecting with her as a woman. Many men fall into the nice guy trap without even realizing it. They act overly polite, avoid playful teasing, and constantly seek permission for every little interaction. And while their intentions might be pure, the result is often the same. The woman feels emotionally flat. She might say you're sweet, she might smile and thank you, but deep down she doesn't feel drawn in. The one of men who understand this dynamic don't stop being respectful, but they don't let that respect stop them from being bold either. They know how to play, they know how to tease her gently, flirt with a grin, and let their romantic intentions be felt, not hidden behind formalities. They speak with warmth, but also with confidence. They challenge her in fun ways. They're not afraid to disagree playfully or say, oh, you're trouble, with a smile that sparks curiosity and key here. It's not about being disrespectful. It's about showing her that you see her as an equal, but also as someone you desire. That emotional polarity is what makes her heart beat a little faster. When a man only ever treats a woman with delicate reverence, it can feel like he's relating to her more like a mother, teacher, or a boss, someone to be appeased or tiptoed around. But women want a partner. They want someone who makes them laugh, who ignites their sense of adventure, and who's not afraid to take the lead when the moment calls for it. So what can you do? Start by letting go of the fear that being direct will offend her. If you're coming from a place of honesty and kindness, most women will appreciate your boldness. Tell her she looks stunning, but say it with a grin and a wink, not like you're delivering a sacred message. Flirt, joke around, be a little cheeky. Let her feel your presence, your masculinity, your charm. At the same time, trust your instincts. If you sense she's opening up, don't shrink back. Meet her there. Mirror her vulnerability with your own. And most importantly, stop trying to be perfect. The men who try too hard to be flawless come across as emotionally distant. The ones who are comfortable being real, they're unforgettable. 4, dress well. One of the simplest yet most impactful things a man can do to set himself apart is to focus on his wardrobe. Dressing well is not just about putting on expensive clothes or following every passing trend. It's about presenting yourself in a way that communicates effort, confidence, and attention to detail. Women often notice and appreciate when a man takes the time to look well-groomed and sharp because it demonstrates self-respect and a sense of identity. To start, know the importance of fit. Ill-fitting clothes, whether too baggy or too tight, can immediately ruin your look, no matter how stylish the pieces are. Instead, ensure your clothing fits your body properly. Tailored suits, well-fitted button-down shirts, and properly hemmed pants go a long way. A clean, polished look exudes sophistication and ensures you stand out in a world where attention to detail is often overlooked. Additionally, the right color palette can amplify your presence. Neutral tones and classic colors like navy, white, gray, or black are safe bets, but don't shy away from incorporating subtle pops of color that complement your skin tone. Understanding what works for you rather than blindly imitating others is what separates truly stylish men from the rest. Accessories also play a role in completing your ensemble. A quality watch, a neat belt, or even a minimalist bracelet can elevate your outfit without overshadowing it. Remember, the goal isn't to showcase excessive bling. It's about using accessories to add a hint of individuality to your look. What's particularly endearing about dressing well is how it positively influences your confidence. When you feel good about how you look, it naturally impacts the way you carry yourself, and women can instantly pick up on this. The well-dressed man exudes charm and assurance that go beyond appearance. It subtly tells the world and the women you interact with that you value yourself and strive for excellence in all areas of life. Take cues from timeless icons like James Bond or David Beckham, who consistently dress with class and sophistication. However, remember that replicating someone else's style only works if it feels authentic to you. Style is personal, so stay true to what makes you feel comfortable and confident. Finally, don't underestimate grooming, having a fresh haircut, maintaining cleanliness, and ensuring your shoes are polished contribute just as much to your overall appearance as your clothes. These details convey effort and intentionality, two qualities women find incredibly appealing. 5. Submissive control. Being in control doesn't mean being domineering or overbearing. Rather, it's about demonstrating that you are a grounded, confident individual capable of leading and making decisions with ease. Women admire men who can take charge of situations in a way that feels natural and respectful. It's a rare quality, yet it's one that creates a sense of trust and admiration. Leadership starts with decisiveness, the ability to make choices without second-guessing yourself endlessly. Something as simple as confidently deciding on a restaurant or suggesting plans for an evening can leave a lasting impression. Indecision, on the other hand, can signal uncertainty or a lack of self-assurance, which may be perceived as unattractive. Control also involves a level of emotional balance. Life can throw countless challenges your way, and women are drawn to men who can remain calm and composed during turbulent times. It's about having a steady presence, someone they know they can rely on when situations become unpredictable. This type of composure signals strength and maturity, an integral part of being in control. Another key aspect of being in control is showing protectiveness, not in a possessive way, but as a natural display of care. Women often admire men who instinctively ensure their safety and comfort, whether it's offering to walk them home after a late evening or taking the lead when navigating a crowded or unfamiliar environment. These small acts of protectiveness don't go unnoticed. However, being in control doesn't mean steamrolling over others or refusing to listen. True leadership is rooted in empathy. You can take the reins without invalidating a woman's opinions or feelings. Instead, it's about finding balance, being assertive when necessary without being dismissive or authoritarian. Women appreciate men who can guide, but they also value their agency and input. When you can harmonize both, it strengthens the partnership and mutual respect. It's also essential to practice self-control. Being in control of yourself, your emotions, habits, and actions sets the foundation for the way you handle external situations. Someone who is easily angered or overly impulsive might come across as unpredictable or unreliable. On the other hand, someone who is calm, deliberate, and self-aware exudes a magnetic aura that naturally attracts others. Lastly, being in control is about owning your life, whether it's pursuing your goals, managing your time, or maintaining a work-life balance. These behaviors show that you prioritize both your ambitions and personal well-being. Women are inspired by men who take responsibility for their lives as it reflects dedication and a sense of purpose. 6A, perform oral sex. Oral sex remains one of the most intimate and pleasurable experiences in a physical relationship, yet it is something that only a small percentage of men approach with genuine care and enthusiasm. Many women express that they feel truly valued, appreciated, and desired when their partner prioritizes their pleasure in this way. It's not solely about the act itself, but the tenderness, focus, and effort a partner puts into it that creates a deeply emotional connection. A significant reason why this act stands out is the vulnerability it encompasses for both partners. By devoting time to giving pleasure through oral sex, a man displays his willingness to put his partner's needs above his own, showing attentiveness and understanding of her desires. This is not about rushing or acting with obligation. It's about creating a safe, loving space for her to completely relax and feel cherished. Men in the one category, the ones who truly understand how to connect this way, see oral sex as an art rather than just a physical act. They take their time learning what their partner enjoys, observing both verbal and nonverbal cues. Communication plays an essential role here, asking questions like, does this feel good? Or watching her reactions creates a path to better understanding her preferences. Women feel appreciated when they can sense how much effort their partner invests in their satisfaction. And this act of prioritizing her can deepen intimacy in ways that resonate beyond the bedroom. Additionally, being skilled at oral sex involves understanding that every woman is unique. What one person enjoys might differ for another. This requires patience, experimentation, and most importantly, open communication. The ability to listen and adapt are traits many women are drawn to because they reflect selflessness and care. What makes this even more powerful is the tenderness brought to the experience. Using soft touches, gentle words, and unhurried movements signals not just physical affection, but also emotional devotion. It transcends merely physical pleasure to create a bond of trust, love, and mutual respect. For many women, this willingness to intimately focus on their pleasure makes them feel truly special. And it's something they never... Being in that realm means not only doing it, but doing it with genuine interest and care. It involves taking delight in your partner's reactions and feeling fulfilled in their pleasure. Ultimately, it's about showing your love and desire through one of the most personal and tender expressions of intimacy. 7, say no. Saying no might not sound romantic at first glance, but it carries a profound impact on how a man is perceived by his partner. Surprisingly, knowing when and how to set healthy boundaries is one of the things women secretly admire, but only a minority of men truly understand and implement in their relationships. A man who can say no when necessary demonstrates self-respect and confidence. 2 traits that are incredibly attractive. It signals that he values his own time, energy, and priorities enough to stand firm rather than simply agreeing to everything out of fear of disappointing others. While kindness and compromise are foundational to any healthy relationship, always saying yes can eventually lead to resentment, exhaustion, or even being taken for granted. Women find it refreshing and appealing when a man knows his worth and isn't afraid to enforce boundaries. What separates the one from the rest is their balance. They know how to say no with tenderness and respect. This doesn't mean being harsh or dismissive. Instead, it's about communicating your feelings authentically while remaining considerate of your partner's perspective. For example, imagine your partner asks you to attend an event that conflicts with important work or personal. Instead of feeling pressured into saying yes despite your needs, calmly explain your reasoning, such as, I'd love to support you, but I need to focus on this deadline. Maybe we can find another time to spend together. By handling the situation with kindness, honesty, and transparency, you protect your own priorities without making her feel rejected or unsupported. Women appreciate this because it showcases emotional maturity and the ability to communicate clearly, 2 qualities that are vital in maintaining a healthy, loving relationship. Setting boundaries and saying no also fosters a sense of independence within the relationship. It subtly communicates that you value both your time together and your individual growth. Independence is attractive because it assures your partner that you're not overly dependent on their approval. Instead, you bring your fully realized self into the relationship, which helps both partners thrive as individuals and as a couple. Another key reason why saying no increases desirability is the concept of scarcity. When you value yourself and your time, it naturally creates an air of allure. Being too available or overly compliant can inadvertently diminish the excitement and mystery that often keep relationships passionate and engaging. By knowing when to say no, you establish your value, letting your partner know that your agreement is meaningful, not something given without thought. Finally, saying no doesn't just benefit you, it benefits the relationship. It prevents burnout, ensures mutual respect for each other's needs, and allows you to pursue personal goals that make you a more fulfilled and well-rounded partner. Over time, this practice builds a stronger foundation for the relationship as both partners feel their individuality is honored. The art of saying no lies in how it's delivered without rigidity or insensitivity, but rather with respect and understanding. It requires honest communication and a willingness to work together to offer alternative solutions. This is what makes the one men stand out. They master the ability to say no when needed, but in a way that strengthens the emotional connection and fosters mutual respect.